Just need to stash this somewhere for a little while.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, aka Storm, and we are back for some more of The Elder Scrolls Online as Reewish, the Mighty Battle Lizard, here in the ever beautiful High Isle DLC. I'm just sending out the invitation to get people into the chat. Give me just a second.
Why be a pirate when sailors on land are such easy pickings? Why be a pirate when sailors on land are such easy pickings?
Alright, so let's get underway. Sorry about that. I'm having a bit of a conversation in Discord. So try not to let it spill over to this stream, because it will definitely make this stream not safe for work. Alright, let's see here. Where should we start today? Well, we need to go to the Dockmaster's house. Let's do that first. I'm going to try to get in the full 3 hours today, if possible, and something doesn't get in my way. Oh, that's the Tales of Tribute. I don't know if I'm going to do Tales of Tribute on stream. Honestly, it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. So, like, I'm not really enjoying it that much. So, we'll see, but I'm not sure if we'll put it in there or not. Also, I should take a moment and do the promotional stuff. So, first of all, Discord. Yes, I have a Discord channel where you can join and get updates about not just my streaming, but also on my novel and its posting progress. I will post a link in the chat before the end of my stream today, so if you're interested in that, look out for that. Also, I am writing a fantasy novel, and part of this streaming is to promote, and there's an Ascended Order person there. Part of this stream is to promote my novel, Song of Phoenix, which I've actually finished a rough draft on, and I'm working on proofreading and editing now. I'm posting it up online to get feedback and critique about it. So far, I've had 313 views on the current 6 chapters that are up. That's not, on each chapter, that's, all together mined. But, I mean, it's not a paltry number. 313 is a lot.
I am at... Someone planning to depart doesn't set a meal on the table. A few drops of dried blood. A scuffle, but not a murder.
Dockmaster Aramond, as per our arrangement, here is your payment for your continued assistance and discretion. It is imperative that you direct official attention away from the salvage operation on High Isle until we've finished our work at the Shallows. You may find yourself tempted to look deeper into our business, or see whether we are willing to pay more for your silence. I must warn you that I strongly dislike renegotiating settled agreements after the fact. Stay away from the lock and content yourself with the handsome sum that you've been paid, and all shall profit. The Ascendant Magus.
Dockmaster, just as Captain Nothing packed.
Yep.
Nothing packed. Food left on the table, and signs of a recent scuffle. I think it's safe to say Dockmaster Arnaud found that his Ascendant Order friends weren't entirely satisfied with their arrangement. They've obviously spirited him away.
Why would the Ascendant Order kidnap Dockmaster Aramond when they already bribed him?
The Dockmaster ignored the wishes of the Ascendant Magus. Captain Colleen saw Arnaud collect another payment at the lock. I suspect he got greedy. And once he proved he wouldn't stay bribed, well, he became a liability.
Where do we go from here?
The Ascendant Order's throwing around a lot of coin on High Isle. If we follow the gold, we'll find someone with wealth and local influence behind this. Another clue that a High Isle noble is involved. Perhaps they want to keep the war going.
Why would anyone want to keep the war going?
Profit, of course. That's what it always comes down to. Lord Baccaro should be able to tell us which nobles stand to lose if the war ends. Go to Steadfast Manor, northwest of the city. I'll have Jakarn look for the Dockmaster and then meet you there.
Do you think anyone else is secretly working for the Ascendant Order?
Almost certainly. As I said, we must be careful about whom we trust. It is a concern, but it can also work to our advantage. Gold only buys loyalty for so long, and I suspect our adversaries are not as organized as they appear.
Why do you say that?
We know their opening move didn't go as planned. They were interrogating the captains to try to find the missing Alliance leaders. Now they've taken the Dockmaster, who would have been more useful to them where he was. They don't trust each other.
Do you think Dockmaster Armand knows where the Alliance leaders are?
I doubt it. If Dockmaster Arnaud knew where the Alliance leaders were, he would have happily sold that information to the Ascendant Magus in exchange for his freedom. We know he didn't because the Order is still looking for them.
You think a group that claims to want to end the war would want the peace talks to proceed?
I suspect the Order wants power, not peace. When the throne is vacant, your prospects of becoming Emperor suddenly seem a good deal more promising. That sort of prize might tempt a noble with just the right mix of ambition, gold, and imagination.
You think Lord Baccaro can point us at the most likely suspects?
Lord Baccaro worked diligently to bring the peace talks to High Isle. Not everyone thought that was a good idea. I'm curious as to who opposed him and why. Better yet, he won't voice suspicions without good cause. We can rely on his discretion.
Honestly, I'm heavily suspicious of Lord Baccaro. Like, no joke. I honestly think he might be the Ascendant Lord. Like, I mean, it doesn't make any legitimate sense that he would, like, But it does, actually, if you think about it. Like, he brought the Alliance leaders to High Isle. Like, he set that up. And then somehow that information leaked out to the Ascendant Order? No. What if the person at the very top of the Ascendant Order is the same person that arranged the peace talks? Huh? That is my running theory right now. I have no evidence to back it up. But I feel it in my gut that Lord Vaccaro is hiding something. And I know I shouldn't just, I shouldn't assume and I shouldn't like make accusations without proof, but it just so many things stacking up. He's a male, yeah, it's a hunch. He's a male noble Breton. He has the power and privilege, and he has the reputation that would allow him to bring the Alliance leaders here.
But I'm concerned for the safety of my retainers.
My associate might be able to help in that regard, Lord Vaccaro.
Yeah, also, how in the world were they injecting vampire blood right under his nose? Like, is he not paying attention to what's going on in his own hospice? Like, people were turning into vampires, and he didn't notice.
Lady Arabelle asks about the nobility, while 2 of my retainers are missing. The Society of the Steadfast will do whatever is necessary to keep its people safe. She mentioned the Ascendant Order might be involved. Do you think that's possible?
We know that the Ascendant Order has been attacking people all across High Isle.
Yes, I understand that you and Lady Arabelle have tangled with these brigands before. They claim to be knights, but they have no honor. Will you do as Lady Arabelle suggested and look for my retainers? I would consider it a personal favor.
Where were your retainers headed?
I sent Grenier and Denise to retrieve a shipment from the Navir docks, but I expected them back ages ago. They were traveling the road to the south. I just pray no evil befell them. The supplies we can lose, but good people are irreplaceable.
I'll look for your missing retainers.
Thank you, my friend. I'll confer with Lady Arabelle while we await your return. I'll tell her everything I know about the nobility of High Isle, if she really thinks that will help. I knew peace.
Oops, that was a little premature. Alright, we gotta go find the missing retainers.
Let's go.
I suppose, Joe, that Astra could prefer, like, shy, reclusive, like, scholar-type people, like hermits, or, like, people that, like, lock themselves away studying, like, because, like, I like Bernadetta, and that's kind of Bernadetta's whole thing is locking herself away, so maybe that could be Astra's type? What do you think?
Lucky. Stendar must be watching.
To whoever finds this, ambush, knights in unmarked livery, no house emblems. They were waiting for us, tried to fight, but there were too many. Denise got away. She ran south, but 2 of the murderers chased after her. The rest looted our wagon. Don't understand. Lord Vaccaro was sure the road to Casanavir was safe. Okay. Oh, I know who you're talking about, yeah. Isn't she with Ashen? Can't hang on much longer, tell my indescribable scrawl.
I never tell the truth to those unworthy of it.
Alright, we gotta follow these tracks. I wonder what caused these tracks. A good DPS melee stamina class. In Elder Scrolls Online, so you've got a couple of options. Well, Nightblade is good too, but honestly, right now Templar is better than for 2 reasons. They have Puncturing Strikes, which is a good DPS class ability for stamina, and they have an ability that lets you absorb stamina from corpses. So when you kill an enemy, you can press a button and get your stamina back that you spent on killing that enemy. And it's really self-sufficient when there's a bunch of like mob packs. You know, you still have to get some work in for keeping your stamina up on bosses, but when you're fighting mob packs, you basically have unlimited stamina. Necromancer's good too, actually. They've got a bunch of stamina abilities. They have their poisonous blast bones. They have a skeletal archer. Oh, I forgot that I also have to do this sheep quest. Okay. So we'll be doing 2 quests down here. Also, Warden's really good with stamina as well. Bow Warden, people swear by that all the time. There's a lot of good abilities that build off stamina. And then with the recent changes, though, Magicka abilities scale off your maximum stamina. So you can use Magicka abilities, you can't spam them as much as you would like to. So I'm actually going to be rebuilding this character as a hybrid stamina Magicka character at some point. I haven't actually decided when I'm going to start trying to do that, but he's going to wield a axe. I'm basically going to turn him into the Thor of Tamriel. Yeah, the running joke was going to be during Deadlands. He was going to run that shit at the enemies and shout, "Bring me Dagon!"
A skeleton! Not privates, thankfully. I hope this poor soul didn't die alone.
I mean, she didn't. Like, the skeleton didn't die alone because, you know, the things ate her, so I'm sure sure that she wasn't alone. Or he wasn't alone, or whatever gender the skeleton was. Well, she didn't survive, sadly. But she did take down 2 Ascendant Knights with her. Like, and these weren't like any, like, look at those swords. These weren't any like pushovers, and she wasn't even wearing armor, and she took them down. So I'm pretty impressed, actually. I don't see her weapon though. Knight Rachel's orders. Knight Rachel. I think I'm saying that right, like Rachel, but with an I. Rachel. Tomorrow morning, a wagon escorted by 2 Society of the Steadfast Retainers will travel to Steadfast Manor. Okay, this is another reason to suspect. Like, who told them that this was happening? Like, there's some inside information being passed. Like, and I don't know who's doing it. From the docks at Castle Nevier, take your knights and set up an ambush along the road. You are to kill the 2 retainers, a man named Grendier and a woman named Denise. Denise. They have seen things they should not have seen and must be eliminated. Confiscate the wagon's load for use by the order. Any other spoils are yours to keep. But remember, the retainers are your mission, not the supplies. There are several good spots to conceal your knights between Castle Nevier and Steadfast Manor. I'm sure you will pick a suitable site, the Ascendant Magus. And see, that's another thing. They have seen things they're not supposed to see. How did they see those things? Like, Alright, let's help this guy find his sheep, so if his sheep is not already in the belly of a monster.
No guts, no glory.
Oh, speaking of... Hold on, wait. I just remembered something. You've got a new ability slot opened up, Isabel. Let's fix that.
What would you have?
Alright, so let's see. Right now we have Solar Ward on first, and then we have Holy Ground. Then she has Gallant Blitz and Penetrating Strikes. So we need to find something that goes well with those that doesn't override their... Divine Destruction. Unleashes a concentrated beam of divine energy at a target. So I'd like to put that here. And then we'll put Gallant Blitz and Penetrating Strikes. Okay, so she'll use this beam, and then she'll do these things. And while these things are recharging, she'll use Solar Ward and then Divine Destruction again. because those will definitely reset before she... Yeah, that should do it. See, solar ward. She didn't get to destruction. She did that time, though. Or maybe not. Maybe, hold on, wait. Maybe that ability only gets used when the enemy's under health, a certain amount of health. Hold on.
Ready to
Let me take a look at that again. Oh, okay, she only uses that as an execute. Okay, but that's fine. That's a perfect spot for it.
That was it, right? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Move your feet. Get moving.
Yeah, the cool part about Solar Ward is whenever it goes down, she's pretty much ready to pop it again. So she's almost always got the Solar Ward going on. Which has definitely increased her survivability. Like, she was dying all the time before I put Solar Ward on her bar. Now that she has Solar Ward, she's staying up a whole lot longer than she used to.
We're in this together.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no, Privet! Wait, these aren't sheep bones. Maybe a horse? Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of this delve. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's not, like, up to my usual preferences for delve layouts.
We're in this together.
Alright, let's go get that Sky Shard. There we go.
Privet's sash. I gave this to her as a present. Finding Privet's sash worries me. She'd never take that off. Unless she left it as a clue. She wants me to know she's here. The bones we found looked gnawed on, but none of them were sheep bones. So I feel confident Privet's still alive.
It appears that the Hellions are whatever creatures belonging to these bones.
What a horrible notion. You don't think they'd plan to eat poor Privet? How could anyone look into those sweet eyes and consider such a deed? Privet isn't food. She's a friend. But I must agree, very nasty behavior from my new neighbors.
Alright, everyone say it with me. Sheep are friends, not food. Where should we look next?
We know Privet came through here because we found her sash. But since we didn't see any sheep bones, they must have moved her. Let's search the caves over to the west. I know it's rude to rummage around someone's home, but they started it.
Why did you think the Hellions would be friendly?
From the archipelago to the mainland, everything is war and fighting. But it doesn't have to be that way. I try to assume people have good intentions, and usually they do. Maybe this is all a misunderstanding. I can work that out later.
I want to hear more about Privet.
Of course you do. I could go on for an eternity about her. I already mentioned her beauty, but she's also so considerate. One time, I caught her chewing on a shirt. I felt very cross, until I realized she'd done me a favor.
What was that favor? Or how was that a favor?
It was my old, worn gardening shirt. I like to give used cloth to the seamstress in town. She makes patches, but she's old and it hurts her to cut cloth, so I cut it before donating. Privet saved me the trouble. She's great.
Okay. Back away slowly from the nice man, Isabel.
To stand against us.
Look,
It's like,
a trail
I'm
of
sorry,
bones.
sir. Stay away from me and my waifu.
A good sign. Look at that natural
Now, we're
bridge
gonna
ahead.
run in just a
I bet
moment.
the view is delightful.
Oh yeah, except for there's like ice imps. Like, what the heck is with the ice imps? Imps usually shoot fire, not ice. And look, it's all the hermit crabs. They're dweebles! Oh, look, they're dweebles, Joe. That's actually kind of that's actually a Pokemon I would love to get in Scarlet and Violet. I don't know if it's going to be in the game or not, but I would absolutely be excited to get a dweeble. I haven't used a Crustle in years. It's been way too long since I used a Crustle. I need to do a regular playthrough of Sword and Shield at some point, like a Nuzlocke playthrough, where I actually get to pick which team I use. So that way I can actually try out some of the Pokemon that I want to use that I don't usually get the chance to, because I'm just not lucky to pull them in a playthrough. Or I could do I get 6 eggs, and then I have to play through the whole game with those 6 eggs, and if a Pokemon dies, they die, and then it's one less Pokemon to beat the game with. That's something I could do too. Or I could just do an egg lock and have people give me eggs. And hope that some people are nice enough to give me eggs that I like, instead of just like Magikarp. Yeah, I don't know if I told you, but in Shield Joe, actually, I fished up a Magikarp, and it was an Admit Magikarp, and I was like, come on, are you kidding me? This is like my 3rd Admit Magikarp I've gotten. I'm not using this. It's like, no. Like, I know you want me to use it, but, like, this is like my 3rd Admit Magikarp in a row, so no.
Privet, reunited at last. A cave exit is nearby. Come, Privet. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I think literally in 3 playthroughs back to back, I had an Adamant Magikarp. Which is, really, really good for a Gyarados. I mean, unless it's Generation 3, in which case it's awful for a Gyarados. What's the hustle, little Crustle? Can we just talk for a second about this? Like, what the actual hell was this? You think it's a sea serpent? Could it be that sea serpent we killed and... Oh, wait, we haven't killed it yet in this game. So, in the Green Shade story, we have to fight a giant sea serpent. Green Shade is not far from High Isle. Like, it could be possible. Well, I mean, it's all the way over here, so maybe not. Like, I doubt the sea currents would drag its corpse all the way over to High Isle and dump it. No, that's just... I don't believe that's possible, in hindsight.
Oh, my dear Privet. I don't know how I could live without you. I must say, and I don't usually speak ill of anyone except goats, but those Hadalids were awful. Didn't even bother to explain themselves. I'm thankful you came along to help. And Privet tells me she appreciates you as well.
Does it seem like the Halids harmed Privet?
No, thankfully. Her wool is damp and dirty, which I find offensive, but she's safe. I'll clean her right up in no time. Please, take this as a thank you from the both of us. I'm glad that not everyone is as rude as those Hadalids. High Isle feels so peaceful most of the time. That's why I like it here, a respite from all the chaos of the mainland. But recently there are Hadalids and rogue knights roaming the roads. And adventurers like you. Too much excitement for me.
Why do you think the Halids kept Privet alive?
They fell for her charms, obviously. Who wouldn't want my sweet Privet living with them? She brightens every room. Even a moldy cave. Maybe those Hadalids never intended to eat her. Yes, that must be it. She was never in danger.
What will you do now?
First thing, Privet needs a bath. She seems a little sad at the moment, but a long soak should fix that. Then I'll make us a meal. Ah, the simple pleasures. I just want her to feel safe again.
Do you think the Halids will try to take her again?
You were quite stern with them. Maybe the Hadalids caught the message not to bother their neighbors. If I see them lurking around again, I will just tell them they're not welcome. I can be quite stern as well when I need to be.
But can you kill them is the question. Because I don't think you can. I, on the other hand, have no problem with killing wildlife. Yeah, I see a bunny and it's just like, ah, it's a dead bunny. Like, I'm not gonna mess with that bear though. Not that I couldn't if I wanted to, but ah, somebody's fighting Ascendant Order. See, here's the thing that gets me. Like, where did these walls come from? Like, was it the Druids that built these, or were they already there when High Isle was settled? It's like... And all the sunflowers are just absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love High Isle. It's so nice looking. Oh, Psijic Portal! I'll take the spoils. Some runes and a pair of paladins. Oh, there he is. Lord Bacaro.
You return alone. I take it the news is not good. Grenier and Denise were not just retainers. They were friends. The Steadfast shall miss them, and so shall I. Please, tell me what happened.
Your retainers were killed. I found these orders from the Ascendant Magus.
Grenier and Denise were helping arrange a banquet at Castle Nevere. Then they were to collect the supplies and return here. What could they have seen that would cost them their lives? The banquet is just to welcome our royal guests to the island.
Grenier wrote this note before he died. He tried to fight back.
The Ascendant Order, plundering Steadfast supplies and killing our retainers. Damn. It was brave of Grenier to try to fight back, but foolish. The supplies weren't worth their lives.
We suspect a wealthy noble may be funding the Ascendant Order.
So Lady Arabelle informed me. I hesitate to accuse anyone, but perhaps you should join me at Castle Nevere. All the nobles of High Isle will be there, and if my retainers did see something at the castle, perhaps you can determine what that was.
Alright, I'll meet you at Castle Nevere.
Duchess Elea of House Dufort is hosting the banquet. She's decided to go ahead and throw the party, even though our guests of honor are still missing. Go to Castle Nevere's courtyard. Introduce yourself when you arrive. Be discreet, please.
Why hold the banquet without the guest of honor?
Duchess Elea wants to project confidence, especially in light of the current situation. Rumors travel swiftly in the archipelago. The people need to believe we have things under control. I expected to pay a ransom and have the delegates back by now.
Lady Arabelle mentioned that some of the nobles opposed the peace talks.
Ridiculous. No one opposes peace. It's just that some of the nobles questioned if this were the right time and place. Duchess Elea, for example, didn't want to bring the mainland's troubles to High Isle. Not without hope our efforts would bear fruit.
Did anyone else feel that way?
Count Leonard of House Mornard enjoys brisk profits by supplying all sides in the war. He doesn't want that to end too abruptly, especially not in a way that makes Elea and House Dufort look good. He detests that she decided to host the talks.
Sounds like House Dufort and House Menard are rivals.
Rivals and partners. House Mornard built its wealth on trade. They rely on House Dufort ships to carry their goods. But the two families have long vied with each other for primacy. The Mornards resent the fact that the Duforts rule High Isle.
Tell me more about the Society of the Steadfast.
My family has always believed that wealth is meant to foster good works. When the three alliances went to war, I made the decision to do whatever I could to help common folk caught in their violent wake. So I started the Society of the Steadfast.
What does the Society do exactly?
We're not a religious organization per se, but we do take inspiration from the teachings of Standar. We establish healing centers and other works to show compassion and mercy to those touched by this terrible war. Soldiers and commoners both.
And you do that here on High Isle?
We're a small society that mostly works near the battlefields of Cyrodiil. I did turn a portion of my estate on High Isle into a healing center. We bring the badly wounded here to recuperate. The peace talks naturally grew out of our other efforts.
Why is Duchess Elea holding the oh, I already asked that. Okay, so let's talk to Lady Arabelle.
It's a shame the Ascendant Order got to Lord Baccaro's retainers before you could. What could they have seen that warranted their deaths? Perhaps we'll learn more at Castle Nevere, although I'm certainly not in the mood for a party.
Lord Baccaro said several nobles will be in attendance.
And our missing guests of honor will no doubt be the main topic of discussion. This is a chance to listen, as well as ask questions. Make sure you speak to Elea Dufort, Demar Dufort, and John Menard. They'll be the most important nobles present.
Do you suspect them?
Until we know more, I suspect everybody. But if any of the nobles are funding the Ascendant Order, I think it likely that it's one of the grand families of High Isle. That means House Dufort or House Menard. Either way, we'll know more soon.
Who are Elea Dufort, Damon Dufort, and Joni Menard?
Elea is the Duchess of House Dufort, and nominal ruler of High Isle. Demard is her brother and a count. John Menard is the highest-ranking noble of House Menard, currently on High Isle. He's Count Leonard's cousin, representing house interests here.
Okay, so we need to get ready to go to Castle Navarre. I have a nice suit that I'm going to put on, but we need to pick out a dress for Isabelle. So anyone who's in the chat can help me pick out Isabelle's dress that she's going to wear to the party. So let's go ahead and head over to the Way Shrine. So I can think of 3 dresses that would probably look really good on Isabelle. So we'll pick from those 3 dresses. I have a lot of female outfits, so because my main characters are all female. So Isabel doesn't get to really have a set outfit on my other characters. She ends up sharing one of their outfits, which is in their colors. So this is kind of neat that, I actually get to give her outfits that are in her colors on Reewish's character, because he doesn't wear he can. There's nothing wrong with him wearing the outfits, but he doesn't. He has a nice suit. Like, I think we can all agree that Reewish pulls this suit off incredibly well. He's been wearing it for quite some time. In fact, I bought this suit just for Reewish. Okie dokie. So let's first of all talk to Isabel.
My blade.
Collectibles, appearance, costumes. Alright, so the first dress that's up on the table, and Isabel, can you face this way? Hold on.
How can I help?
I guess not. Okay. Alright, so the first dress that's on the table is the Cyrodiid Gentry's town gown. Of course, I'm going to change its color to blue and black, like to match her armor. And you can't really get a good view of it in this angle. So, see, it's off the shoulder. She has sandals on her feet and has bracelets on her arm and a necklace. Alright, let's go to the next dress.
I'm in your service.
The next dress is a Breton special. It is an off-the-shoulders evening dress. Notice it has a very nice brooch around the neck, and it has a very medieval vibe to it.
Ready to write the next?
And the last dress is going to be... see here. The Shimmerine Soiree Ensemble. This dress has a this dress is actually in two pieces. The top and actually in three pieces. The collar, the top, and the bottom. It is not one solid piece. I think it looks really good on her. And like you can definitely see the definition of her arm muscles from where she's trained as a knight. All right, so that's our. So we got one vote for 3. I'll give it to the 44-minute mark and see if anyone else wants to vote for anything different. If not, we will be going with dress number 3. Alright, that's the one we're going with then. So let's find the outfit station and quickly recolor her outfit. Good thing costumes are completely free to recolor. So first of all is Covenant Blue or Endoral Blue? I think it's Endoral Blue. Yeah, I believe that's right. And then... which black was it? Is it... I believe it's... Cold Harbor Black. Maybe that's not the right blue. Is it Covenant Blue? That looks more right. Yeah, I think that's correct. Alright, look at that. I think she looks really nice. Once she, properly loads in and stuff. Alright, let's roll. Once I find my way out of the crafting hub. Alright, so we have arrived at Castle Nearvere. Let's head over to the party. Oh, it's raining. Ah, our fancy clothes are gonna get all wet, Isabel. I told you we should have left earlier. She's like, no, you didn't. You spent forever picking out my outfit. Look, that wasn't me. That was the audience. And she's like, what audience? I'm like, the audience. Can't you see them? Joe, wait for Isabel. She's like, are you okay, boss?
Might as well enjoy ourselves while we're here. Do you still prefer a Russefeld red, my lady?
That would be delightful. Thank you, Bacaro. Introduce yourself to the nobility, my friend. And remember, even the smallest detail could be the clue we seek.
Alright, so we need to pay attention here because we could be potentially discovering who one of the villains is. Let's get down to business to catch the Ascendant Magus. How do Ford? How do you do?
Such a waste. I have little patience for the vanity of our noble houses on the best of days. Right now. I'm sure we all have better things we could be doing. I suspect you agree. You're the one assisting Lord Bacaro and Lady Arabelle, aren't you?
That's right. I'm helping Lady Arabelle. You're well informed.
I try to keep up on matters of state, but I confess, Alea told us all about you. I am Count de Mard, the Duchess's brother and court mage of House Dufort. Tell me, has your investigation uncovered news regarding a sudden storm that appeared recently?
Yes, we think it might have caused the delegate ships to crash.
A hypothesis that matches my own. While my sister chases bandit knights across the countryside, I wonder about the druids who make the wild parts of High Isle their home. They have little love for civilized culture. They could be responsible.
What do the druids have to do with a storm?
I don't think that storm was natural. The druids wield old magics and consort with spirits. It is well within their abilities to summon such a tempest. They mostly keep to themselves, but I suspect a ruse. Those are your culprits, mark my words.
You said you were the court mage?
Magic is the legacy and heritage of the Breton people. Oh, I spent my time mastering the sword and knightly pursuits in my youth, but I believe that a true Breton must study both halves of our nature, and perhaps the ways of the druids, too.
What do you mean, both halves?
We Bretons trace our ancestry to Needs and Elves who intermingled during the early history of High Rock. Therefore, spellcraft is in our blood, and we all at least have some talent with magic. I find the subject fascinating and decided to embrace it.
Do all Breton noble houses have a court mage?
No. Some have forgotten our traditions. Were it not for my talent, I doubt my sister would bother with a court mage. She sends me to look after Dufort interests in ports across Tamriel, rather than making full use of my arcane skills. A pity.
Well, so that's one of our suspects.
I don't believe we've met. John Monard, a pleasure. My family is in shipping. We import goods from the mainland and send wares from the archipelago to markets in Tamriel. You're the investigator working with Lady Arabelle, aren't you?
That's right, I'm helping Lady Arabelle. How did you know?
The Duchess explained everything to the court just before you arrived. If Lady Arabelle had consulted us, things would be different. We know what hazards await careless captains making the approach to High Isle. Her ships were simply unprepared.
hazardous seas didn't wreck those ships. The Ascendant Order did.
Don't tell me you buy into this Ascendant Order nonsense. A shadowy order of knights working to undermine the governments all across Tamriel? It's a ruse, my friend. A convenient fiction to protect the flawless name of House Dufort. Oh.
You don't seem to think very highly of House Dufort.
Alea gained her station by currying favor in High Rock. Then she made a show of backing Lord Baccaro's steadfast society. But ruining the peace talks and getting heads of state killed, blame must be placed. And she'd never fall on that sword herself.
Why are House Menard and House Dufort at odds?
My family ruled the archipelago for generations, but the Duforts were never happy in our shadow. They spent years poisoning the court against us. And when my uncle Avreep quietly supported King Rancer a few years back, it paid off for them.
He quietly supported a revolution against High Rock. Yeah, I can kind of understand how that would get him in trouble. What do you mean?
The High King stripped my uncle of the ducal title and gave it to the Duforts. It was an outrage, really. We took no part in Rancer's war. At least the Duforts didn't get everything they wanted. We kept most of our holdings, and it eats at them.
Are you in charge of House Menard?
Goodness, no. That honor falls to my cousin Leonard, and he can have it. I wouldn't want the responsibility. No, I'm content managing our affairs here on High Isle. I leave the larger concerns of the business and house to my cousin, the Count.
Okay, so that's our second suspect. Let's go talk to the Duchess.
Lord Baccaro has arrived, Duchess. He brought that Lady Arabelle with him.
I thought Jakarn was around here somewhere.
Welcome to Castle Navir. You're Lady Arabelle's assistant, yes? Then you know these festivities are only for appearances' sake. Our guests of honor have yet to be found. Rest assured, I intend to bring the radicals behind this plot to justice.
You're aware of the Ascendant Order?
I'm aware of most things that happen on my isle. It's true we didn't connect reports of mysterious knights to the Ascendant Order until recently. But now that we know they are one and the same, we'll quickly bring them to heel.
Is there anything you can tell me about might help us find the Alliance leaders?
I suggest that you and Lady Arabelle leave this matter in our hands. My knights have already pinpointed several sites where the Ascendant Order gathers. They are scouring High Isle for our missing guests even as we speak.
We have reason to believe a High Isle noble may be funding the Ascendant Order.
Which is why I prefer to handle this discreetly. I suspect House Mornard is behind this. They profit greatly from the war, and they still hold a grudge against my house for overshadowing their own. Frankly, I put nothing past them.
Duchess Alea Dufort, Aegil wants to know your location. Tell me more about House Menard.
One should be careful when talking about one's neighbors. Still, Count Mornard's dislike of my family is well known. Years ago, his father backed King Rancer of Shornhelm in his dispute with High King Emmerich. Emmerich did not forget it.
What did High King Emmerich do?
He punished Avreep Mornard by stripping him of his ducal title and granting it to my father instead. The Mornards remain counts, with holdings and estates throughout the Isles. But the Duforts are now the dukes of the sisters.
Tell me more about the House Dufort.
My family builds ships. Our shipyards construct the finest vessels to ply the western seas. In reward for our service, High King Emmerich granted us the Duchy of Sisters. We rule with care and compassion for all, even the Mornards.
Alright, so those are our three main suspects.
Might I offer you a refreshment, friend?
Jakarn. Hello, Jakarn.
Didn't think I'd miss this little soiree, did you? Listen, I have it on good authority from a very accommodating chambermaid, in fact,
Jakarn.
that the Duchess has been looking into the Ascendant Order on her own. Well, I've got a plan.
What kind of plan, Jakarn?
Not Jakarn, waiter, Fred.
Fred,
I'm in
seriously?
disguise. I told you about the chambermaid, right? She's one of the Duchess's personal assistants. Well, she told me where the Duchess keeps her sensitive documents, among other unmentionable items.
Dang it, Jakarn. The Duchess told me about her investigation. What's your plan?
Nobles and the upper staff never pay attention to the common help. I easily filched a key from that stuck-up steward Hercian. While I cause a distraction, you go take a look. Duchess Alea has a private study somewhere beyond the northeast door.
What sort of distraction?
I'll lure the guards away from the doors, but I'll need your help. Talk to one of the musicians and ask them to play the tune Stagger and Sway. It's an old favorite of mine. I'll take care of the rest.
Somebody, we need the safe word. He's gonna take off his shirt.
Something you need, friend?
I want to request the song Swagger and Sway. Stagger.
I don't really take requests. Duchess Alea provided a list of approved songs she wanted performed. That one definitely isn't one of them. Not that she would notice. I don't think anyone is really listening to the music.
Would this buy me a song? 69
Good
gold,
to see that
nice.
someone appreciates the arts. All right then, you'll have your song.
Thank you.
Lords and ladies of the court, I dedicate this song and dance to the most buxom, curvaceous, voluptuous of all royals.
Oh God, here he goes.
Alea.
Get down
My
from there at
eye,
once.
it
Stop this
bleeds.
nonsense.
Seriously, we need a safe word for when Jakarn's about to take his shirt off. Also, this is a good place to do a spot of looting. Alright, hold on. There's no need for the fancy clothes anymore.
My blade.
Leah licks lips. Get him to the dungeon. I know I'm spending my afternoon. Oh God. The chambermaid is like, and she's like, no, yes, my lady. And she pouts off because she was with Jakar. This place is beautiful. And, like, totally not looted. I hope you were Ascendant Order because, I kind of feel bad about that. I didn't kill anybody in my first time through. I actually snuck through here invisible, so I didn't kill anybody my first time, but, like, this time it's really not possible to be invisible. This is still only the second main quest, by the way, guys. This is, like, we've only completed one main quest so far. If anyone was wondering about the length of this DLC. Man, this place is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I need to come through here again sometime on one of my other characters and just do some serious, like, looking around. Ooh, that's cool. High Isle Brazier standing. That's nice. Those are the 3 locations where Ascendant Order gather. Last month. Curious. The Citrus Guard report that the Citrus Guard report that routine banditry across High Isle seems to be declining. They believe that some new bandit chieftain is recruiting followers from the island's outlaws. I directed Stuart Harcian to look into it. Banditry across High Isle has resumed at a completely intolerable level. These outlaws are now... Hey, M. Sharp, welcome to the stream. Been a while since we had you here. These outlaws are now better organized and more well-armed than ever. Hercian reports that the peasants are all telling tales about the knights of the people who call themselves the Ascendant Order. Rebels and scrofflaws, I say. If the Ascendant Order brigands threaten House Dufert profits, I will have to take action. Stuart Hercian has compiled our informant's reports into a map of the Ascendant Order activity. He plans to personally investigate each one. 2 days ago. The Ascendant Order Knights are more ambitious than I thought. Someone conjured a great storm off the southeastern coast of High Isle. They wrecked the ships carrying High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and joined the Skull King's son to Lord Baccaro's peace conference. The most powerful monarchs in Tamriel may have drowned off our coast. This is why I wanted Hercynian spies to keep an eye on the group. A surprise of this magnitude is completely unacceptable. If we had only known about this threat, we could have done something, or at the very least, positioned ourselves to take advantage of the developments. Ah, hell. Alright guys, this is where you're going to want to be paying attention. Like, not just to what's about to happen, but what's to happen after. Like, because something is coming up that is probably one of the greatest feats of animation they have done in this game to date, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Ascendant Order!
Tamriel's salvation begins today. Join us, or be swept aside. Storm and fire will bring down the old regime. Lightning and lava will herald in a new age.
Darn it, Ascendant Magus. Earthquakes and lightning. Look at all the dead people.
This was a warning.
Ah.
No one is beyond our reach.
There's the Ascendant Magus.
Stand aside and you will find a place in the new regime.
Nice. Are you doing golf again?
And you will be brought to your knees.
I'll get him. Drat, he's gone. Wait, that wasn't what I intended to do. I will have a slice of cake, though.
Oh good, you're all right. It seems our adversaries decided to send a message to all those in attendance. Submit or die. A classic. Did you uncover anything useful before the Ascendant Magus made his entrance?
Duchess Alea has been investigating the Ascendant Order. I have her notes.
I see. Clearly Duchess Alea's investigation hasn't gotten very far. Perhaps we can make better use of the leads she's been developing. But we have little time to waste. The Ascendant Magus demonstrated real power.
What do you mean?
Did you notice how the ground shook when he unleashed his storm? That's not a magic I've seen before. Somehow his storm magic is causing earthquakes. At least he hasn't recovered the Alliance leaders yet. We still have time.
How do they know, or how do you know they don't have the Alliance leaders?
Because the Ascendant Magus has made a show of wanting us to fear him. Why would he care if he had what he wanted and couldn't be stopped? No, the royals elude him, somehow. But his magic, I wonder...
Wonder what?
Among the other problems plaguing High Isle, lava vents have begun to open in random locations. Between the ground shaking and the storms, could the Magus have stirred the volcano? Let's return to my manor so we can study these items more closely.
Very possible. This is the part where you're...
It may not be safe to return to Steadfast Manor.
Okay, let's do this first.
Nonsense. I refuse to hide from these cretins. I'll double my guard, but they won't drive me from my home.
Very well. I'll check in with you later. Jakan, let's go. And put on a shirt, my dear.
Okay, this is the part you're going to want to be watching, because this only happens one time. If you miss this, you can't see it again, unless you rewatch my video, of course. But, like, I can't stress enough that this is a one-time occurrence. I almost missed it the first time. And I deeply would have regretted it if I did. I'm hoping I don't miss it this time. Alright, you see the Colossus in Gonfalon Bay? You see the giant statue, right? Wait, maybe it's not yet. Maybe you have to go inside and talk to the captain for... Or, no, wait, he's right here, okay.
Look! The Colossus!
There it goes. There it goes. The Ascendant Order destroyed the statue.
Powerful. I heard that volcanic fissures are bursting open across the Isles.
First the storm, now this? It must be the work of the Ascendant Order.
You give them too much credit. An earthquake destroyed the Gonfalon Colossus.
No, it was the
Yes,
Ascendant
an
Order.
Ascendant earthquake. Trust Zaji, he knows.
Zaji's actually right this time.
I have visited High Isle several times over the years. Never have I seen the ground so restless. It is alarming.
I didn't want you to miss it, Joe.
Could the Ascendant Order be causing these tremors and eruptions?
The Ascendant Magus said that the old regimes will be swept away in storm and fire.
Storm and fire. I am troubled. If the Ascendant Magus can use powerful storm magic against his enemies, does he also command the tremors and volcanic fissures? It is maddening to even contemplate.
Lady Arabelle suspects a link between the storms and the volcanic activity.
Oh, Zaji is right to worry then. The loss of a monument might be the least of our concerns if the Ascendant Order can rouse the volcano. Lady Arabelle is inside, friend. Perhaps she'll know what to do.
Yep. And now that statue will permanently in this playthrough be reduced to rubble. Like it'll never be back in its repaired state again.
Was it too much to hope that one of High Isle's nobles would openly admit their guilt? Ah, well. At least we can rule out Duchess Alea. Her notes make it clear she was caught off guard by the attack on the delegates' ships. And this map. Interesting.
What about the map?
If this map really points to sites important to the Ascendant Order, then it's our best lead so far. Here, my dear. Take this with my thanks. With your continued help, we'll find the royals and discover who's behind the Order before long. We must.
Complete quest.
The map you acquired provides a number of leads that might help us find High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar. As the line from the Investigator Veil books reads, there's always another mystery. Let's get to it, my dear.
Do you realize any of the locations on the map?
One is clearly the Dufort shipyards, where the house constructs new vessels. Another is near Stonelaw Grove, home to a circle of friendly druids. The third appears to be a cave near Tor Dreak. A strange set of disparate locations indeed.
Where should we start?
I'll leave that to you. Investigate all three and report back here. I'll send Jakan to the docks, Captain Colleen to the cave, and Valencia to the grove. Rendezvous with them at each location and see what you can uncover about our rogue knights.
I'll return after we've searched all three locations.
We don't know what the Ascendant Order is doing out there, but hopefully something at one of those locations will lead us to our missing royals. But do be careful. I'd hate to see such a capable agent get hurt while assisting me.
Did you see what happened to the Colossus of Gonfalon?
I did. I arrived just in time to see part of it collapse. As much as it saddens me to see the proud Baron Admiral fall, we have more pressing problems to deal with. I'll mourn the Colossus of Gonfalon Bay, after the Alliance leaders are safe.
Let's discuss what we know so far.
A review of the evidence. Excellent idea. Lord Bacaro is sponsoring peace talks here on High Isle. but the ships carrying High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar never arrived. We suspect the Ascendant Order is somehow responsible.
Right. The captain said a storm wrecked their ships. We know the Ascendant Magus uses storm magic.
An excellent deduction. They also noticed that the Ascendant Magus and Lord spoke with the accents of Breton nobility. We believe a High Isle noble is funding this band of rogue knights. Then you recovered this map from Castle Nevere.
I remember. It lists sites that Duchess Alea believes are somehow important to the Ascendant Order.
Precisely. Since we also know that the Ascendant Order is still looking for the missing royals, we'll use them to point us in the right direction. Investigate the 3 sites on the map and learn everything you can, my dear. Leave no stone unturned.
Alright. So we're going to go do some side quests first. I feel like that's probably a good use of our time, is to knock out a few side quests on the way to one of the quest locations. So I know exactly where we're heading first. This is a quest that I've actually been interested for Joe to see in particular. And who is that needing help down at the bottom of the pier? Is that Stebbins? Well, we can't leave an old friend in alert.
Milady's gotten herself into terrible trouble.
Stebbins.
Oh, what a fortuitous turn of fortune. Once again you appear when Lady Laurent and I need you most. You see, I find myself in something of a pickle and could use a modicum of assistance. Tell me, friend, how good are you at breaking ancient curses?
Ancient curses? I think you better explain.
Yes, of course. Milady always says I misplaced my head if it wasn't attached. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, the curse. My mistress, Lady Laurent, was hired to help prepare this site for some important meeting or another. Then disaster struck.
What sort of disaster?
Well, usually I'm the one who stumbles into trouble, but this time Milady found the old chest. It was so unlike her to open it herself, and that's when she activated the curse. I'd gladly give you my annual stipend if you help me save Lady Laurent.
Annual stipend. She only pays him once a year. I'll help you save Lady Laurent.
Oh, thank you. You've lifted a great weight off my shoulders. Come along. Lady Laurent is along the southern coast. Do prepare yourself. The curse has made Milady a different person. Literally. She's been possessed by an ancient sea captain.
Tell me more about this curse, Stebbins.
Well, I'm far from an expert in such matters, but it started as soon as Milady opened that old chest. Lady Laurent immediately changed and started acting like an ancient sea captain. She's certainly not her usual demanding self.
Why do you think Lady Laurent's possessed by an ancient sea captain?
Because as soon as she opened the old chest, her posture changed. She started to swear like a sailor. Claimed she was the captain of a great sailing vessel and ordered me around like a lowly deckhand. It was even more degrading than usual.
And why do you think this is related to a curse?
Mostly because the sea captain rambled about the curse of the islet and the curse that binds his spirit, etc., etc. Made the hair on my neck stand on end. To think there's someone in there with Milady. Oh, it's very troublesome.
Good to see you again, Stebbins.
And you as well, my friend. I just wish that one of your visits didn't involve the imminent demise of either me or my honored employer. Lady Laurent will be happy to see you, especially if you manage to remove the captain's spirit from her body.
What can you tell me about the sea captain?
Not very much, I'm afraid. He's boisterous, confident, and rather bawdy, if I'm being honest. I detest him. and I can't abide such a depraved individual taking up residence in my mistress. It's unseemly.
Unseemly?
Come along, and you'll see for yourself.
Tell me more about this island.
Technically, it's an islet. All Flags Islet, to be precise. It has some historical significance, but that's more Milady's area of expertise than mine. I believe it used to be some sort of monument or museum.
What do you mean, a monument or museum?
Just that. I noticed a lot of historical plaques scattered about. They talk about the All Flags Navy, which I think was rather famous in its day. The Society of the Steadfast hired Lady Laurent to preserve the site prior to their big meeting.
Big meeting? You mean the upcoming peace talks?
Oh, I'm just a meager, put-upon manservant. I wouldn't know anything about such monumental events. Well, I may have heard a mention or two, so yes, I suppose ending the Three Banners War is the purpose of the big meeting. Confidentially.
Is there anyone who doesn't know that's what we're doing? Like, it's supposed to be a secret, but it's like the worst kept secret in Tamriel. So what exactly are you and Lady Laurent doing here?
Lady Laurent was hired to preserve any items and structures of historical import and make the islet safe for the upcoming meeting. They knew they had a problem with undead, but they never mentioned anything about an ancient curse.
Alrighty. All Flags Islet. Quick reminder for anyone who needs a refresher. The All Flags Navy was the first unified force of Tamriel's peoples, and they launched a war on the Slode, which were a race of sea slug-like people. It was the first time people of Tamriel ever united for one purpose under a single banner, and they completely obliterated the sea slodes.
You opened my old hope chest? Oh, that's not good.
Oh, look, it's a ghost.
Lady Clarice Laurent. I'm Lady... No, I am someone else.
I am someone else.
Captain? Is that you in there, my love?
Oh, first a curse and now a ghost. Oh, talk to Lady Laurent, please. I'm much too upset for rational discourse.
Lady Laurent.
My darling Jan, seeing you makes my loins stir and my... Ow!
Lady Laurent, are you alright?
Get out of my head!
Lady Laurent, is that you?
Is that... What a ridiculous question. Wait, I know you. Stibbons found you? Finally did something right for a change. Good. You can help me break the curse. I seem to have unleashed it when I opened this chest.
Why are you talking so strangely? Or why...
It's the sea, Captain. Stibbons and I were exploring when I spotted this hope chest partially buried in the sand. I usually let my manservant deal with such things, but for some reason, I felt compelled to open it. That's when...
When what?
I remember my ship, a proud vessel, and my valiant crew. There was a storm, I think, but I can't remember my name. Interesting. My body didn't have quite this many tempting curves the last time.
Oh god, he's a perverted captain. Who am I talking to?
Why, I'm Captain... Kinnereth's R sits right on the tip of my tongue. Well, never mind that. Come, Jan. We must hither to the big tree. I promised to meet you there, and now that I have a body, nothing can stop me.
The big tree?
Oh dear! Follow Lady Laurent. She's in no condition to wander off on her own.
Wait! I'm coming with you.
Oh, there's a ghost inside me now, too.
Begone, brother. I plan to dock with my lady love, and this boat has no need of a third oar.
Brother? Third oar? Milady, you're confused.
Ah, there you are, my turtle dove. Come to me, my darling. I've missed you so.
The ghost woman. She's inside you, friend. The captain thinks you're her. Talk to Milady and play along. See what you can learn.
Ah, fair Jan. How I've longed to hold you close again. You were never far from my thoughts, even while I sailed across the stormy seas. And here I am, just as I promised, back from the war for an intimate rendezvous under our favorite tree.
You fought in a war?
You tease me, my little vixen. You know I am a captain in the magnificent All Flags Navy. Perhaps the best in the entire fleet. Ah, but I do enjoy our little amusements. What game are we playing this time, pray tell?
No game. I'm just trying to remember. You've been gone so long.
Alas, that is the nature of war, my dearest. Those Sload are terrible creatures. But know this! Every time I set sail, I do it for you. I cannot abide another day with my love in dire peril from the threat of Thras's monsters.
And Thrashian is the name of the place where the Sload live, in case anyone doesn't know. What should I call you, my darling?
Now I know you jest, my sweet. To my crew, I am Captain. But to you, I am... Ow! 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 Oh!
Lady Laurent.
Get out! Ugh, yes, it's me. At least for the moment. Take my useless manservant and go to the lighthouse. The plaques there tell the story of the All Flags Navy. Maybe they contain a clue as to how to break this damn curse.
We'll go and see if we can learn what we can learn at the lighthouse. She looks pissed.
Take Stibbins and investigate the lighthouse. I'll be along in a moment. I need to compose myself. It's clear that this randy sea captain has strong feelings for the ghost that's inside you. Maybe we can use that. Let me ponder.
Why isn't Jane's ghost trying to control me the way the sea captain's controlling you?
No idea. But I could see her inside you while the captain was at the helm, as it were. She was giving me... him, the puppy dog eyes. Very disconcerting. Anyway, to the lighthouse. It's clear this is somehow tied to the All Flags Navy.
What can you tell me about the All Flags Navy?
Ugh, you do realize it's taking everything I have to keep that foul-mouthed, lascivious sea captain at bay? Go read the plaques and learn the history for yourself. Or maybe you can get that ghost inside you to help. I'll be along shortly.
Yeah, she is way angrier than usual.
Yes, the
but can you blame her?
It's full of historical information. What a good idea, milady.
Like, can you really blame her for being upset, though? To be honest. Monument Lighthouse. This lighthouse guided ships to All Flags Islet during the period of fleet construction leading up to the assault on Thras. Afterwards, it was restored and turned into a museum as part of the memorial to the memory of the All Flags Navy.
Examine the historical plaques and see what you make of them.
Ah,
right.
The old lighthouse. I remember it well.
So, first of all, the Thrashian Plague. So those of you that watched my Somerset series already have a kind of idea of what the Thrashian Plague was. It was a disease that dehydrated the body, and people would then try to overdrink themselves, and they would literally drink enough water to kill themselves. Their bones would snap, and they would die from overconsumption of water. It was a really terrible disease. A terrible illness ravaged the continent of Tamriel starting in the year of First Era 2200. This deadly sickness, which became known as the Thrashian Plague, claimed more than half the population before it ran its course. For a good portion of the early part of the century, the origin of the plague remained a mystery and the subject of much speculation. It first appeared along the southwestern shores of the continent, spreading outward from Daggerfall, Hyagarth, Anvil, and Falsneti. Not even the Isles of the High Elves were safe, and the city of Corngrid on Somerset was 2200. No, like how we say our years. I mean, I guess it would be 2200, like the year 2200. I guess that would be correct. Even the city of Corngrid on Somerset was devastated by the disease. That's the city that we went to on my stream, and we found it completely devastated. I like this little throwback to that. The plague took a terrible toll and was measured in more than just lives lost. The political ramifications of the disease changed the direction of Tamriel. Valenwood was weakened, the population of the Iliac Bay drastically reduced, and the tribes of elsewhere decreased from 16 to a mere 2, which is just the there's Palatine, and there is the other tribe, the one that's based in Rimmon. I cannot for the life of me remember what their name is off the top of my head. but it's Palatine and Alessians, the Alessian tribe and the Palatine tribe. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I knew it would come to me eventually. When it became evident that the Slode were responsible for this unprovoked attack, steps were taken to deal with the threat once and for all. Alright, on to the second plaque.
Terrible disease. Simply terrible. I was lucky. So many others. Not so much.
I can hear Lady Laurent, but I don't see her. Is she already in the other room? Oh, she is. Okay. Second one, Baron Admiral Bendu Ola. This is the guy that the Colossus of the Gonfalon Bay was built to honor. So, Bendu Ola, the Kovlovian king of Anvil, devised a bold plan to end the threat posed by the Slode of Thras once and for all. He proposed the creation of a vast fleet made up of ships from every nation. He further proposed that he would step away from his royal duties to personally assemble and command the fleet, which he planned to use to take the battle directly to the Slode. While the exact evidence that convinced Bendu Ola and the other leaders that the Slode were responsible for the plague was never made public, it was clear by 2230 or so that most of the continent believed in the Slode's guilt, and the disease had become known as the Thracian plague. And it actually is confirmed that it was the Slode that caused the disease, by the way, in case anyone's wondering if they were wrong. In 2241, the Alessian Emperor, name scratched out. Ooh, name was scratched out. That's not good. Maybe it wasn't Alessia. Maybe it was a different. I'll have to look it up later. Alessia was the Emperor of Cyrodiil. Finally agreed to fund the effort and commanded Bendu Ola to get started. Ola began by awarding himself the rank of Baron Admiral, then went about gathering the captains who would help him refine his plans and strategies, as well as the shipwrights needed to build the vast fleet he envisioned for the enterprise. It wasn't long before an island in the Stris archipelago was selected as the staging ground for what Ola was now calling his all-flags navy. In 2243, Ola and his entourage landed on the island of High Isle and began constructing the dry docks and the infrastructure needed to build the fleet and launch it when the time was right.
I remember the Baron Admiral quite fondly. Excellent leader. I would have followed him anywhere. And I suppose I did.
Alright, number 3, the All-Flags Navy. The work underway on High Isle was conducted with as much secrecy as possible. In no way did Baron Admiral Bendu Ola want to tip their hand to the Slode. The first vessels assigned to the fleet came from existing navies and established patrols around High Isle to safeguard the island. Initially, the Slode ignored the activity around High Isle, but as the shipyards edged ever closer to completion, minor skirmishes began to spring up in the waters between Thras and the Citrus. The Slode never launched a massive initiative against the island, so it remained unclear as to whether they never recognized the threat or did not have the forces to strike at the island. The shipyards and docks were completed in the First Era 2249. A large fleet of ships from every Tamrielic nation were already on hand to defend the island, and those formed the basis of Ola's newly designated All-Flags Navy. Just as they finished construction on the island facilities and infrastructure, the workers immediately turned their attention to building warships specifically to add to the fleet. The word went out far and wide, calling for volunteers to become sailors, marines, and captains to serve aboard the new vessels. Bendu Ola's dream of a powerful united fleet to rain justice on the Slode was coming to fruition.
Ah, what a sight! When the first ships of the All-Flags Navy sailed into the upgraded harbor, I was aboard one of those vessels, and it was here that I met my lady love.
Alright, Instruments of Vengeance. Between First Era 2249 and First Era 2259, the shipyards worked day and night to turn out the massive number of vessels needed to bolster the All-Flags Navy. By 2260, the Armada numbered some 130 ships of various sizes, flying the banners of the Argonians, Bretons, Colovians, Elves, Khajiit, Redguards, and even freebooters and mercenaries. These same nations also sent thousands of sailors, marines, and adventurers, and support personnel in perhaps the greatest allied action in Tamrielic history. The fleet was ready. It was time to unleash Tamriel's instrument of vengeance on the Slode. With the powerful elf mage Sayabane at his side, Baron Admiral Bendu Ola issued the order, and the allied armada sailed out from the High Isle port towards the coral kingdoms of Thras. From the Abeskian Sea and into the Sea of Pearls, the fleet sailed, using enchanted lodestones to navigate and keep the numerous ships in formation and on course. When they reached the Thracian archipelago after sailing through a fierce storm, they found the island surrounded by dense fog. Bendu appeared on each ship as a magical projection and ordered the fleet to attack the largest tower and lay siege to its coral tower. That seems redundant to say tower twice in the same sentence, but okay. Many ships were lost, but the Slode paid the price for unleashing their dastardly plague upon Tamriel. Baron Admiral Bendu Ola led the surviving ships of the fleet back to High Isle in victory.
So many lost. But even as my ship sank beneath the waves, I knew that victory was in our grasp.
So, that's construction of Monument Isle. The All Flags Navy returned to High Isle and received a hero's welcome, but the joy of victory was tempered by remorse. Nearly half the Armada's contingent was lost in the battle to wreak vengeance upon the Slode. After the all-out assault on Thras, Baron Admiral Bendu Ola and the leaders of the various groups who had come together to assemble the largest allied naval force in Tamrielic history decided to establish a monument to honor and remember those who had fought and died to defeat the Thracian threat. Under the supervision of Master Builder Tobin Moorcroft, Monument Isle, a very small island at the center of High Isle, was selected as the site of the memorial. Construction began almost immediately on the key tributes honoring the All Flag Navy. These included All Flags Castle, Monument Lighthouse, Monument Garden, and Monument Inn. The memorial complex was completed in the First Era 2271. Baron Admiral Ola, the leaders of the allied groups, and many of the surviving captains were on hand when the memorial was dedicated to the memory of the lost vessels and their crews, as well as to the victory over the Slode.
Tobin Moorcroft. I know that name. My brother. Yes! Yes, the Master Builder was my brother!
We're getting somewhere.
Tobin Moorcroft. Oh, this is all that wretched scoundrel's fault.
And apparently it's his fault, too.
The ghost woman!
I read these plaques.
At least she's no longer inside you, my friend. See what she wants. I'm much too frightened to approach any such apparition.
I'm in your service.
Not you, Isabel.
I read these plaques all the time. I never remember a word. Just that history has forgotten my love. And even I can only remember bits and pieces. Until today. I remember Tobin Moorcroft, and I spit on his memory.
What do you remember about Tobin Moorcroft?
I remember that he was a cad and a coward. A sorry excuse for a man. He was my beloved's brother, and the master builder of the All Flags Memorials. He carved the names into the garden plaque personally. But not my captain's. Not my love.
Do you remember your love now?
I remember only glimpses. Like a shadow moving across a wall. He was a sea captain. Tall, strong, proud. He called me his little turtle dove. His safe port in a storm. Oh, I wish I could remember his name. Or his touch. Or his face.
Was your love one of the captains that sailed with the All Flags Navy?
The All Flags? Yes. Yes, I think that's right. That's what it says on these old plaques. Oh, I wish I could remember more. It's the curse, I fear. Gets into everything and muddies the water. Been that way ever since... Damn it!
Ever since Tobin Moorcroft?
Tobin? Yes. I refused that snake's advances. I was grieving, in shock, and in pain. And he demanded I betray my love for another man. How could I? It was too soon. You must help. I think it started at the inn. End this curse so I can remember.
All right.
The inn? The building at the center of the island? I suppose it wouldn't hurt to go look.
Come on, Stibbins, where's your sense of adventure?
I remember this place. Jan and I shared many pleasant encounters beneath this roof.
You're paying
before
next
I
time
set
we
sail
stop
with
for
the
a
fleet.
meal. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not.
Lady Jan seems to think one of us is someone untoward. Talk to her, my friend.
No, Tobin. You cannot offer me a drink. And I have absolutely no intention of dancing with you.
Alright.
I'm here with my captain, and I have no patience for the advances of his foolish younger brother. Away with you, foul sir.
Alright.
Jan is mine, little brother. Go play with your hammer and chisels. My sweet deserves a night to remember before I set sail from Port Sargo.
A night to remember? But anyway, Port Sargo. That's the old dock on the eastern shore of this very islet.
Let's go there. Yeah, but High Isle wasn't the only place they were building ships for the All-Flag Navy.
I take no pleasure in killing, but I'm glad we're alive and they're not.
The bottom of that bottle I was stuck in that one time. Actually, no, that wasn't Stibbons. That was the Dark Elf, which we haven't seen in a while.
The ruins of Port Sargo. Somewhat disconcerting, as long deserted places tend to be. But there's a plaque. See what it says.
The All Flags Navy started here. The All Flags Navy started here. The All Flags Navy started here as the first ships arrived to help protect. I don't think he's been stuck in a bottle, no. No, he got turned into an egg. But I don't think he's been stuck in a bottle. I might be wrong, but I mean, they've had a lot of misadventures, so it's possible that I'm forgetting one of them. But I believe that Stibbons was not stuck in a bottle. I know he got turned into an egg, though. That did happen. The All Flags Navy started here as the first ships arrived to help protect the island while the infrastructure was under construction. Before the shipyards could turn out new vessels, the people of Tamriel sent their best ships to patrol the waters around High Isle. They were ships of the line from established navies, merchant vessels, freebooters, and mercenaries, all ready to defend the effort and undertake the war directly to the Slode. These were the initial 14 ships that arrived to form the basis of the All Flags Navy. Long may they be remembered. The restless Corvian, Baron Admiral Bendu Ola, Anvil Song, Colovian, Baron Captain Nolus Felvers, the Ruby Trident, Colovian, Captain Harder Vera, the King's Jest, Breton, Captain Lindola Darvex, the Pristine Halberd, Breton, Captain, scratched out. So the name of that captain was scratched out. I believe that's the person we're looking for. We had a couple Captain Queen Baron.
The Pristine Halberd. The captain's name has been scratched off the plaques on the pedestal and on the wall.
Here to see me off, little brother? How touching. Baron Admiral Bendu, my vessel is ready to sail as soon as you give the word.
Am I?
Baron Admiral Bendu Ola was in charge of the All Flags Navy. Pretend to be the Admiral, and perhaps the captain will reveal his name.
Baron Admiral, after years of preparation, we're finally ready to show those slug bastards what for. My ship was one of the first to join the fleet, and today it's ready. Give the word and we'll set sail on the next wave.
Remind me, Captain, which vessel is yours again?
Why, just the finest warship ever to set sail from High Rock. Surely you remember the name of...
By any chance, is your ship the Pristine Halberd?
Why, yes, of course! The Pristine Halberd! The pride of the Breton fleet. We've helped protect this rock during the long years of buildup. Now we're ready to be the instrument of vengeance, just as you planned.
Ah, yes, a fine ship. And remind me, who is the captain of the Pristine Halberd?
The captain? Why, I am the captain!
Yes, but tell me your name, Captain.
My name? Why, I'm...
Captain?
Renwick Moorcroft, captain of the Pristine Halberd and proud member of the All Flags Navy.
So you're Captain Renwick Moorcroft.
Out!
No! I'm Lady Laurent. He's Captain Renwick. But why haven't you broken this curse yet? I'm not sure how much longer I can fight off the captain. Talk to Stibbins and end this already!
We're trying, Lady Laurent.
Captain
Sheesh,
Renwick
calm
Moorcroft.
down.
My beloved's true name. You must add my beloved's name to the main garden monument before we forget it again.
My big brother.
Dang it,
so
Stibbins.
proud, so famous. But not anymore. I made sure he'll never be remembered.
Now has a ghost inside him, too. Stibbins, that's not you, is it?
Stibbins? What a ridiculous name. I'm Tobin Moorcroft, master builder of the All Flags Navy monuments. My work, unlike my brother's, will be remembered forever.
Right. So you built all of this.
Everything on Monument Islet. Well, I had help. Apprentices, assistants, laborers. But the design and the fine detail work? That's all mine.
Impressive, and you carved the plaques with a hammer and chisel?
The finest hammer and chisel in the world. I paid a small fortune for the enchantments, but you'll never discover where I hit...
Where did you hide your hammer and chisel?
Out, you vile creature! Never fear, I'm myself again. And better yet, I know where this Tobin hid his tools. I saw it while he was inside my head. To the graveyard, my friend!
To the graveyard! Which is not something I usually say when there's undead walking around. Quick! Zombie strippers!
Gravestone! That's what I saw in Tobin's mind! Dig there!
No, not my tools. Dig somewhere else.
Shut up, Tobin.
You have the tools? Quickly, carve my beloved's name into the plaque at the Memorial Garden. Once his name is added to the central monument, we will never forget him again.
I'm on it.
A dedication ceremony? For me? How exciting!
Captain Renwick Moorcroft of the pristine halberd. Place my beloved's name where it belongs.
Oh, you do it, friend. My hands are shaking. I'm so nervous.
Oh, well done, my turtle dove.
To the wall.
You saved my
The
memory.
brain stripping
now
off.
we can be together for all eternity.
I did have a little help, Renwick, my love. Now come, my darling. We have a lot of catching up to do.
My big brother, the famous sea captain, wins again. How typical.
Well, maybe they'll
Stiggins,
figure it out in
why
the
do I think
theories.
this was somehow your fault? Never mind. You, come talk to me.
Stibbins, why do I think this is somehow your fault?
Really happen? Did I have the spirit of some ancient All Flags Navy captain residing inside my head? My memory is all a jumble.
Yes, but Stibbins and I ended the curse. How do you feel now?
How do I feel? Like some virile man was stomping around inside my body with his oversized boots and manly urges. It was unsettling. And, if I'm being totally honest, somewhat arousing.
Arousing?
Never mind that. My manservant wants a word with you. But please hurry. I have a task for Stibbins that needs to be dealt with post-haste.
Stibbins, she has a quest for you. Hey, Edge, welcome to the party. You're here at just the right time.
Oh, thank you, my friend. I never would have been able to save Lady Laurent without your help.
Do you think this curse is really broken?
Oh, yes. Of course, the effects may linger for a time, but the worst of it is over. And we righted a wrong of history. Captain Renwick Moorcroft's role in the All Flags Navy has been restored. But how is Lady Laurent? Is she all right?
I think so. She said she had a task for you. It seemed rather urgent.
An urgent task? Oh, well, nothing ever changes. But I live to serve. Here, my annual stipend, just as I promised. Thanks again for saving Lady Laurent, ending the curse, and restoring a piece of the archipelago's history. Now I must see to me lady.
Good God, he only had 725 gold a year?
Stibbins, come here, my manservant. All this foolishness about forgotten love has given me an itch. I am in need of a good scratch.
Milady, I could never... Well, if you insist.
I love how he just, like, offended first. My lady, I could never... Well, if you insist. He just gives up really quick.
Yes, we're ever so grateful. Now, if you could leave us, I really do have a particular task for my manservant to take care of.
You, my friend, are a true hero. You always seem to ride to the rescue when Lady Laurent and I need you most. If there's ever anything a humble manservant can do for you, you only have to ask. Now, if you'll excuse me, Milady has need of me.
And we need to get out of here. But first things first, can I ring the bell? No, you cannot. Run!
Move.
Hey,
Get out of there.
excuse me. They're going to be knocking a very different kind of bones. Come away, Isabel. What's that glowing over there? Like, there's just like a random light over here, but there's like nothing over here. That's really strange. Like, maybe that was like a former bandit camp or something? I don't know. But this is really pretty. I like this a lot. But it's time to head back to the mainland and get back to questing. Why is that bell ringing? It's like someone's hitting against it over and over and How are you doing, Edge? It's been a while since we had you in stream. Surprised M Sharp hasn't called the horny police. Like iApple shows up in the stream. Woo, woo, woo. You have committed horny crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you? Ooh, chest. There's a naked dragon in iApple. Not worth it at this point.
Traveler? Over? You have no idea how long I've waited for someone like you to come by. There isn't much time. Terranora went in there, by herself. She's been gone a long time. Something terrible must have happened to her.
Who's Terwin?
My wife. We came to this star-cursed firepot cave to gather Volkesh scoria. Given that we're looking for dangerous creatures, I suggested we hire someone to protect us. But no, she darted in there while I was planning how we'd search the cave.
Terranora, okay. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Kraz. I know you were mentioning that was going to be a possibility depending on the changes at your work. So, what's Volkish Skora?
Molten rock, cooled to a crust outside the Volkesh's bodies. Terranora and I were hired to retrieve it, but the gold we were offered means nothing if Terranora dies. Traveler, I am willing to pay you hefty sums to ensure my wife's safety.
I'll help you find the Scoria and your wife.
Here, one of the locals marked where some lava vents are in the firepot. We should look for the Scoria there. Finding the Scoria will help convince Terranora to leave the firepot. I want her out of danger before I talk some sense into her.
What are the Volkish?
A sailor in Gonfalon Bay described them as creatures of molten rock. She said Volkesh shed their outside layer of rock, like a snake. There's bound to be piles of scoria lying around for us to take, but Terranora went in on her own.
Why will the scoria piles be around the lava vents?
Oh, some locals said they'd seen the Volkesh emerging from some lava vents. The vents can scrape at the Volkesh's outer layers, help pry the scoria off.
Locals saw them?
There are places on top of this mountain where you can look down into the firepot. Hunters usually stay clear of these windows, but a few brave ones helped us prepare for this foray into the cave. Now it's up to us to get the scoria.
What are scoria?
Well, Volkesh are creatures of lava, right? The scoria is what happens when the lava meets the air and cools down. It's not good for crafting, but skilled alchemists and scholars are very interested in it, which is how we got this job.
Tell me about your wife.
Terranore. Her mind turns around puzzles like a leaf floating on the breeze. It's hard not to be swept along. This isn't the first time that she's run into danger without a plan. It's just the first time she's done it without me.
If she's running into danger, if she's run off into danger before, why are you so worried?
Because losing sight of her while we're in a mine in Clenumbra is vastly different from her mad dash into this largely unexplored, lava-filled cave. She's unarmed, distracted, and directionless. I have the only map we made.
What's so important about the scoria?
We gather the materials our clients pay us for. I don't always know what use they have, or why the clients want them. But since this scoria comes from living creatures, I'd guess it has some magical properties.
Is the scoria dangerous?
Only if it's still attached to a Volkesh. Maybe if a crazed alchemist gets her hands on it. But I interview all our clients before we agree to work with them. We only work with artisans in good moral standing. We have a reputation to uphold.
What do you know about your client?
Not much, I'm afraid. He's an alchemist in Somerset, and he's interested in creating potions and powders that protect against fire. That was all Terranoi and I needed to know. We asked around about him, confirmed the job, and came here.
Okay, well let's go into the fire pot. We're making some progress. Not a lot of progress, but we are making progress. We did an entire main story quest today, too, so we can't forget that.
It's even hotter in here than I imagined. We should hurry to find the scoria and Terranore before it's too late.
They're just flame atronachs wandering around.
I don't see Terranore anywhere, but those are some of the scoria. Do you think they're cool enough to... Ooh, these are good quality. Terranore will be happy to see them. Terranore, we need to find her.
A knight never yields!
I gotta admit, it's pretty. It's a circle, but it's pretty. Like I'm not a big fan of the circle delves. It's like just too simple.
Water? Not something I expected from a place called the Fire Pot.
Well, water and lava often go hand in hand. Like that's if you played Minecraft, you know for sure that water and lava often are like right next to each other. I've actually been thinking about picking up Minecraft again, honestly. It's like, it's had several updates since the last time I played it, and like, it just, something I'm considering. Like, I probably wouldn't play it on stream or anything, but you know, I might play once a week or something. So the sky shard is up there. Can I get up there from here? Doesn't look like it. How do I get up there? I see where it is, I don't see how to get to it. Like, I've gotten it before, which is weird that I don't know how to get to it now. Maybe because I never approach from this side, I always come from the other side. Wait, I see how to get up there, hold on. Yeah, I usually come at this from the other way, so that's why
place is surprisingly beautiful. Terranoi would love this view.
I'm sure she does love it wherever she's at right now.
How is there this much water here? I thought everything would be dead.
Look, lady, one thing you learn when you adventure across the length of Tamriel is that not everything makes sense.
Shining steel.
Courier to collect, but no sign of Terranoi. Somehow I thought Terranoi would be waiting for me. We haven't heard her at all.
I know roughly where she is. Don't worry about it. We'll find her.
Of our tale.
Okay, yep, there we go.
It was enormous. Oh, don't look down.
And this takes me up and to the... Oh, and there's another chest too. Good gracious. I found 3 chests back to back of ascending difficulty. There's another one. Good gracious, I'm just getting really lucky with the chest today.
It's the last vent I have marked in this. Terranoi must have gone down into the depression below. We agreed we wouldn't go down there. What was she thinking?
Yahoo! That was considerably less damage than I thought I was going to take.
Stendarr was with us in that fight.
Terranoi! Get up. We're leaving while you're still in one piece.
Wait. See that large vent? We're not leaving without the scoria around it.
I've seen souls less stubborn than you. Traveler, talk some sense into this idiot before I do something I'll regret.
If I knew someone like you would actually pass our way, I might have reconsidered coming here alone, eh? Then again, maybe not. Our life isn't what I promised, Vinalsare. I'm going to change that, no matter the danger.
What happened to you?
I was resting on that outcropping out there when the rock fell out from under me. Vinalsare will probably drag me to a healer. She's not going to stop talking about how she knew this cave was dangerous. It's really annoying when she's right.
Is she...
I am not. There may be a chance that Vinalsare is right. But our life together hinges on this job. The lack of coins in our purses is already damaging our marriage. Please, say you'll get those scoria.
I'll get the scoria from that pile.
Thank you. Vinalsare trusts you. I'm putting the hopes of our happiness in your hands. With any luck, the only thing I'm going to regret today is falling off that rock.
Come on, let's get you out of here before you manage to get more burns.
Alright, we got him. Let's go. Oh, my package is coming today instead of tomorrow. I thought it was supposed to arrive tomorrow, not today.
Traveler, you don't... Well then. Well then, here we all are. Somewhat whole, marginally hale, but decidedly alive. Do you have the scoria?
Yes, I retrieved the last of the Vilix scoria.
I don't know how to properly thank you. Terranoi's alive because of you, and we have more scoria than our client wants. Take this. It's all I can spare now that Terranoi is injured.
Alright.
Take care. This archipelago is dangerous. My wife and I witnessed that for ourselves.
What will you do now?
Terranoi's wounds need tending to, and I could use something to calm me down. After that, someone needs to sort the scoria, set up camp, and gather our provisions for the night.
How bad are Terranori's wounds?
She'll live, but healing takes time. Who knows how long we'll stay here. I plan on getting a ship back to Somerset as soon as possible. This archipelago is beautiful, but nothing compares to the Shining Isle.
Will your client wait that long?
He'll have to. No one else is desperate enough to come here and collect Volkesh scoria. Besides, our health matters more than his good opinion of us. We'll wait for Terranoi to recover before we head out.
Alright, well that's
What were you thinking? You could have died.
I know I worried you, but I'm fine, see? I just need to rest up a bit.
You got lucky. How do I know you won't run headlong into danger the next time we have a job?
Don't worry, I learned my lesson. Next time I'll look where I'm walking.
She's gonna earn herself a she's gonna earn herself a fat ear if she's not careful. It's like just whop. It's like, then again, she probably doesn't want to. She probably doesn't want to do that because her wife's already injured enough as it is. Alright, we got 57 minutes left in the stream.
The
Let's
grove
talk.
sings of its suffering. Something terrible happened here.
You can hear it? Incredible. Ah, there you are. Hello, my friend. You're just in time. I met Ravana here just as she was starting to look into an arcane disturbance. It can't be a coincidence we're so close to one of the Ascendant Order sites marked on the Duchess's map.
What sort of arcane disturbance?
We're not sure yet. Based on everything that Lady Arabelle has told me, it's conceivable that the Ascendant Magus could be responsible for the disturbance here. Ravana is trying to locate its source. We could use your help.
What do you need me to do?
Ravana's ritual is somewhat involved, and I'd like to help her prepare. Can you gather some reagents that we'll need? She requires 3 blooming song flowers and an azure torchbug before we can begin.
Where can I find these reagents?
Blooming song flowers grow in the copse of trees just north of here. You'll know them by their distinct blue and purple petals. As for the torchbug, Ravana told me they congregate near the lake at the heart of the grove. They are quite beautiful.
I'll gather the flowers in a torchbug. Look how beautiful the water is. Like, ignoring the fact there's a giant coral monstrosity in the water, but look how absolutely gorgeous the water is.
I must discover the source of this corruption.
We will get to you in just a minute. I'm in the middle of something right now.
Another find for your pack.
I forgot how fast I swim. Catch the azure torchbug. And we catch it alive, because if it was dead, it wouldn't do its purpose properly. Oh yeah, there's the corruption. Okay, Bloomsong Flower. There's another
Any battle
one.
we can walk away from, eh?
You never know which fight will be your last one, Isabel. Just stick with me and you should be fine. Alright, so we got them, so let's go talk to the druid. Yeah, I'll get to you in a second, druid. We will get to you today, I promise. And wolf. Every time I say wolf, I feel like I'm saying wolf, but I'm not. I'm not saying wolf, I'm saying wolf. But it feels like I'm saying.
Let's see. The flowers are in good condition, and the torch bug is alive and well. You treated nature with deep respect, and you have my thanks. Perhaps the grove will repay us in kind. Let's begin.
Tell me about this ritual you're going to perform.
All things are connected. Spirits of nature reside in the swaying trees, the blooming flowers, the glittering torch bugs. It can be difficult to hear their songs, even for those of us who listen. But it's there. Can you hear it?
I'm not sure. How does that relate to the ritual?
The grove is in pain, projecting a sorrow that's felt by everything nearby. This ritual will ask the rocks and the trees and the insects to simply share what they know, to lead us to the source of this disturbance. There, we might find answers.
I see. What happens now?
I perform the ritual, and we see where this trail leads. Stand back. This will only take a moment.
I'll leave you to it.
Bones of the earth, spirits of the wild, sing unto your servants. Lead us to the source of your pain.
Look! The spirits have sent their messengers. Oh, how beautiful.
Follow the torch bugs, friend. They will lead you to the source of the disturbance.
Following the torch bugs, following the torch bugs.
An old druid circle. A fire burns deep beneath High Isle.
Errant magic
The
is still
druids
lingers.
of old channeled
A
its
powerful spell
power.
was cast here.
A dangerous
Let's look around.
temptation.
A cracked staff. That can occur when the caster can't contain the magic they attempt to wield.
Suspended lodestone.
That stone possessed ancient energy, but more akin to Valesia's magic than mine.
An enchanted lodestone, a cracked staff, and a smoking fissure. All left behind in a place once used by the ancient druids of the island. Curious.
What do you think happened here?
Well, the staff is obviously connected to Breton magecraft. Definitely not the implement of a druid. A cracked staff is a bad sign. Whatever they were trying to do here, they probably didn't get the result they were hoping for.
And the lodestone?
I've used such stones before. They help focus magicka over a distance. They come in pairs, you see, forming a sympathetic link between 2 points. So this spell, whatever it was aimed at a point outside this circle.
Saji and I found some lodestones like this in a sea elf encampment.
Oh? Fascinating. That makes sense. These lodestones can also be used to focus navigation spells. This is the truth of magic, after all. It is not inherently good or evil. It merely reflects what's in the heart of the caster.
What about the love event?
Whoever cast this ritual obviously attempted to tap into the deep magic of High Isle. The power beneath the surface here is very seductive. But, as I am sure Ravana would tell you, using it and controlling it are not the same thing.
Can you determine what type of ritual was cast here?
Not with certainty, but I can make an educated guess. If the Ascendant Magus used this site to summon the storm that wrecked the Alliance ships, then obviously he lost control. The result wasn't what he expected, and now the Order is scrambling.
I'll let Lady Arabelle know what we found.
Take the item back to Mandrake Manor, my friend. I can do a more thorough examination there. Ravana, if you'll allow me, I believe I can help you dispel the lingering disturbance.
My circle and I thank you, Valencia.
Okay, so that's one of the objectives done. So we're going to go help this druid circle, and we'll see how long that takes. And then if there's time, we'll do another quest. If not, we'll end off for the day. So we'll see what time it is when we're done with this next quest. I don't believe this quest is a very long one, so. But it is something we need to get done, so. Hello, druid.
Traveler, I advise caution. A corruption has gripped Stonelore Grove, turning the wildlife aggressive and spreading an impurity unlike anything our circle has ever seen. Nature itself has fallen out of balance.
What sort of corruption are you talking about?
That is what I hope to determine. The Archdruid sent me to investigate, but it was all I could do to avoid the once docile creatures of the Grove. I found a few pockets of corruption that must be cleansed, but I need another druid to assist me.
You need another druid to cleanse the corruption?
Really, I just need another set of hands. Here, let me mark your map. I'll cast the cleansing spell, then you burn out the impurity. That will temporarily restore the balance while we search for the source. The circle will compensate you, of course.
I'll help you cleanse the corruption.
Let's find a few concentrated areas of corruption. My spells will cleanse the impurities, then you burn them. Hopefully we can determine the source of the corruption before this malady spreads to the rest of the island. Just keep your guard up.
Is Stonelore Grove really that dangerous?
It wasn't always. It used to be one of the safest locations on the island. In fact, my ancestors deemed the grove sacred when they first arrived. Now the corrupted wildlife attacks for no reason, and some of my fellow druids have been afflicted.
What else can you tell me about this corruption that's affecting the grove?
Not much, unfortunately. I noticed its effects a short time ago. Usually docile creatures turning aggressive. A strange blight spreading through the plants and trees. I brought my concerns to the Archdruid, who initially thought I was overreacting.
How did you convince the Archdruid to let you investigate?
I'm not sure anyone has ever convinced Archdruid Agatha of anything. But she couldn't deny that something strange was happening in the grove. She ordered me to look into it and bring my findings back to the Circle Elders.
And what did the Elders say?
Nothing. I haven't gone back yet. Until I determine if the corruption can be cleansed and find the source, I don't actually have anything new to report. Well, except that now the corruption has spread to some of my fellow druids.
What do you mean druids have been affected?
Just that. They have become as hostile as the rest of the afflicted wildlife. We may have to deal with any corrupted druids we meet. But with your help and the blessing of the true way, we'll soon have a solution to present to the Circle Elders.
What is the true way?
I suppose you would call it our doctrine, our religion. The true way represents a life guided by natural principles and the value and willfulness of nature. All of nature comes from Ifra, and the druids are the arbiters of Ifra's will.
Ifra?
Have you never heard of Ifra where you come from? The storyteller? The god of song and forest? The spirit of the now? Ifra formed the frame upon which nature was woven. He gave rise to the rules of life on Nirn. His way is the true way.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that part of Valenwood yet, my friend. We'll get to it. Don't worry about it. So, you're a priest of Y'ffre, then?
I am a druid of the Stonelore Circle. I am a teacher, a healer, a counselor, as well as a steward of the natural world. I hear the voice of Ifra and his earthbones, and I do my best to be his advocate. Natural principles guide my every action.
When did the druids arrive on High Isle?
Oh, that was early in the First Era. After struggling against the Dureni hegemony, our ancestors came to this archipelago because of its connection to Ifra. When they arrived, our druidic circle deemed Stonelore Grove to be a sacred site.
What do you mean, a druidic circle?
Not to be confused with our ritual circles. I mean the druids of the archipelago all belong to one of 3 distinct subgroups. You would probably call it a sect. Those who hold to the same circle share common beliefs and approaches to Ifra's will.
Tell me about these 3 circles.
The druids of this grove belong to the Stonelore Circle. We revere nature, but believe that all cultures have a place here. Some of the High Isle folk refer to us as the friendly druids. We rarely evangelize, letting our work speak for itself.
And the other 2 druidic circles?
You'll probably encounter the Eldertide Circle in your wanderings. Be careful. They are overtly hostile to the civilized residents of High Isle. As for the Firesong Circle, even I don't know much about them. They never leave the island of Ifalon.
I'm pretty sure that's where we're going in the DLC and later this year. So, all right. So let's go and see if we can help clear this corruption.
The corruption spreads quickly. Burn the corpse while I cast a cleansing spell.
There's the next corruption. You can see it because of its orange, like...
The corruption spreads throughout the grove. First the plants, then the animals, and now even some druids have been afflicted.
That could be helpful.
A corrupted shrub. Burn it with cleansing fire after I...
We are the spirit of the grove. We are the evergrowth, and this druid seeks to help, while another has unbalanced the true way. Aid us, mortal, before the nature that sustains this grove collapses.
How disconcerting. The evergrowth hasn't spoken in generations.
Yeah, what was that?
Pardon that display. I've never been forcibly taken over by a spirit of nature before. I wasn't sure if the corruption was connected to the evergrowth, but now we know. And we know a druid is somehow involved. That troubles me.
What's the evergrowth?
As I understand it, this grove was deemed sacred by the early druids, but it was also out of balance. They shaped Ifra's laws into a spirit and gave that spirit dominion over the grove. It recognized that I was trying to help it, and reached out.
It also said another druid had unbalanced the true way.
Yes. But is that druid acting out of malice, or ignorance? Either way, if the evergrowth succumbs, then the corruption will increase and spread out of control. We must take this news to the Circle Elders. Meet me in our village.
I'll meet you in the Stonelore Grove village.
Our village lies at the center of the grove. Once we get there, I will tell the Archdruid and the other elders what we learned.
Tell me more about the Archdruid and the Circle Elders.
Not much to tell. Archdruid Agathy oversees our community here. A number of the village elders serve as her advisors and help train the younger aspirants and initiates in the true way. I'll introduce you to them once we get to the village.
Yeah, for some reason the Stonelore Druids play Tales of Tribute, which is, I find interesting that they that they're out preserving the natural order and like, oh yeah, we'll play card games, which are the fate of the world with you.
Archdruid, elders, this outsider helped me. And the Evergrowth, it spoke through me.
The spirit of the grove? It hasn't manifested like that in many generations. Are you sure?
Druid Audrine has never given us reason to doubt her observations. Tell us, child, what did the spirit say?
It warned us that nature was out of balance. That a druid was responsible for this trouble.
Out of balance? That explains the corruption. But to blame a druid, I cannot accept that without proof.
Then we will find that proof. Friend, meet me at the Circle's ritual site. Over here, my friend. The Circle Elders cannot accept that one of our own may be responsible for this disaster. And I could hear the doubt in their voices concerning the Evergrowth. We need to prove that one of our Circle has caused this unbalance.
How do you want to proceed?
Help me investigate. Search the village for any signs that a druid is involved in the corruption. Look in the huts. Ask my fellow druids. Someone or something here will lead us to the source of the corruption. It has to.
What about the Evergrowth?
We'll wait and see if it communicates with us again. If not, I have an idea. But let us try to find the druid responsible for this situation first. I want to determine if this was an accident or a deliberate and reckless act.
Yeah, that last part is the part that's is the most terrifying. Woohoo! Wait, why didn't I take any fall damage? Ah, there's somebody we can talk to. Excuse me, Khalida.
Ah, I see that Druid Audrine has brought us a visitor. What can I do for you today, traveler?
Do you know anything about the corruption spreading to the grove?
As a matter of fact, I noticed animals in the grove suffering from an affliction. I mentioned it to Archdruid Agathe, and she said she would look into it.
Thanks for the information.
When I spoke to the Archdruid, it seemed like that was the first she heard of the corruption in the grove.
I heard that Duke Sebastian was a
Good gathering, stranger. I do not recognize you, but I know Druid Audrine very well. What may I do for you this day?
Do you know anything about the corruption spreading to the grove?
Nothing specific, I'm afraid. Just that the corrupted animals have made foraging in the grove dangerous. Oh, this might interest you. I felt a disturbance emanate from the wards in the Undergrove recently. Like a surge of power went through them.
What's the Undergrove, and what was that about wards?
The island's volcanic vents create all sorts of underground spaces. The large cavern beneath us is the Undergrove. No one's allowed down there, not without the Archdruid's permission. The wards have something to do with the spirit of the grove.
And the spirit of the grove, you mean the Evergrowth?
Yes, the Evergrowth. I'm surprised you know that ancient designation. I believe the wards reinforce the spirit's connection to the grove, but I'm not an expert on that. I can sense them, though. I have an affinity for such things.
Thanks for the information.
The Undergrove? No one... Hopefully we can find...
Alright, let's go and check out these houses. So somewhere around this hut. Oh! Disturbing
That
death.
ritual fetish. It reeks of the same corruption spreading through the grove. I wonder who it belongs to.
Man, these houses are really nice. Get that for my collection. We call upon Y'ffre to strengthen the bond between the Evergrowth and our sacred grove. We call upon the god of song and forest to remove the bindings that tie our spirit to this hallowed land. We offer the sacrifice, O Y'ffre, so that we may all walk the true way. Wait, remove the bindings? That's not right.
A ritual? That's proof that a druid caused this problem. Look, there's a mistake in the second line. They wrote remove instead of restore. I think we have everything we need to convince the Archdruid. Let's review what we discovered.
What do you make of the corrupted fetish we found?
Definitely a druidic ritual fetish. I use such accoutrement when conducting my own rituals. But this one bears the taint that afflicts the grove. This fetish must have been used in the ritual that released the corruption.
What about the restoration ritual we found?
Whoever scrawled this did so in haste. They made an obvious mistake in the middle verse. It should say restore, but the author wrote down remove. That alone would have disastrous effects when the ritual was performed.
And the two druids we spoke to, what do you think what do you think about the information they provided?
Someone or something disturbed the wards in the Undergrove, probably when the ritual was performed. And it appears the Archdruid knew about the corruption before I mentioned it, but she acted like she knew nothing.
What's the purpose of these wards?
I don't know all the details, but from what I've been taught, the Evergrowth resides in the Undergrove. The wards connect it to the Grove, but also bind it. We need to talk to the Archdruid. She's usually in the Northern Grove this time of day.
Alright,
I'll meet you in the northern part of the Grove. The Archdruid? What? Oh no, she's spreading the corruption.
The All-Wither. It's inside me, forcing me to do as it bids.
Where did she go?
So you've been hijacked again.
Immortal. The spirit of the grove has need of you. We are the Evergrowth. The one you sought. She carries the taint of our corruption. We remember her from the Undergrove. She performs a ritual that released this blight upon the land.
So this is all the Archdruid's fault?
The Archdruid sought to renew our bindings, but the ancient spells had already frayed. The part of us that is the All-Wither tricked her. She spoke the wrong word. Now, the All-Wither is free to spread its corruption, and the entire grove is in danger.
The Archdruid also mentioned the All-Wither. What is that?
The All-Wither is a part of us, a spirit of nature, called forth and made manifest by the ancient druids. At this sacred grove, the laws of nature are malleable. To strengthen those laws, the druids bound us here. But nature consists of circles.
Circles?
At one end, life. At the other, death. We are both life-nurturing growth and all-withering decay. That part of us is now free. And once the corruption fully takes hold, the Evergrowth will be gone. Only the All-Wither will remain. Will you help us?
What do you need me to do?
Tell the druids what we have said. They summoned and bound us in the past. They must be able to do so again. But urge them to hurry. The corruption consumes us. Soon We shall not be able to stave off the all-wither.
I'll tell the druids.
No matter how many times that happens, I am not sure I will ever get used to that. Return to the village, and tell the elders what the Evergrowth said. I'll join you momentarily.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you might need a moment after that.
Elder Karik, we have troubling news concerning the Archdruid.
Slow down, Audrine. Tell us what happened.
The Evergrowth confirmed she performed the binding ritual, but she made a mistake. She released the All-Wither.
The Archdruid is responsible for the corruption? And she released the All-Wither? Oh, the Grove is doomed!
The Evergrowth is here and willing to help, in exchange for certain considerations. The Archdruid has returned to the Undergrove. Even now, the All-Wither compels her to speed up the spread of corruption so it can consume us. In our weakened state, we cannot stop the All-Wither from becoming the prominent spirit of the Grove.
You said you could help us stop this?
We can, but only if you and this druid break the remaining wards that bind us to this place. That will allow us to recover enough of our power to restore the balance and return the All-Wither to its proper location in the circle.
Before you asked us to get the druids to restore your bindings, now you want us to break them?
The All-Wither moves quickly. Already we can feel ourselves weakening, losing cohesion. The remaining shreds of our bindings have been corrupted and add to our pain. If you set us free, we can pull energy from the uncorrupted grove and aid you.
Without the words to bind you here, wouldn't you just abandon the grove?
We are the spirit of the grove. We maintain the balance and keep the true way. We know our duty and our responsibility. Trust us. Together, we can end the corruption and return the grove to its natural state. But decide quickly. We do not have long.
Elders, allow us to enter the Undergrove and do as the Evergrowth asks. We can't let the All-Wither become the dominant spirit.
For all we know, this is exactly what the All-Wither wants us to do. But, yes, go. We'll do what we can up here to slow the spread of the corruption.
The spirit wants us to enter the Undergrove and release its bindings. It claims that will allow it to overcome the All-Wither. I sensed no duplicity while we were connected. I believe the Evergrowth spoke true of its intentions.
How do we get into the Undergrove?
The entrance I am aware of is in the northern part of the grove. I will meet you there. I have never been in the Undergrove, my friend. I have no idea what we might encounter down there. So be on your guard and ready for anything.
What do we do once we enter the Undergrove?
We find the corrupted wards. I cleanse them and you break them, much as we did in the grove. After we deal with the initial wards, the Undergrove's central chamber should open, allowing us to destroy the last binding ward and set the spirit free.
Okay.
Magical wards bind the spirit to the grove. We need to find those wards, cleanse them, and destroy them.
Met your match.
I think the first time I came down here, I was actually watching a video about Darth Vader for some reason. I don't know why, but I was.
I hope I was of some assistance.
Yeah, they are inevitable, but you're trying to spread them out of seasons.
I'm glad we're alive and they're not.
I do not sense any additional wards out here. The central chamber should now be accessible. Let us go and set the spirit free. The final ward is somewhere in here. Find it and destroy it.
We are the All-Wither. This grove, you cannot resist our corruption.
You're like the hero of a fantastic tale, and I get to ride with you.
You have destroyed the corrupted wards, and our strength returns. Balance shall be restored to the grove.
Let's return to the village and tell the elders the good news.
You did as we asked. We shall do the same. The All-Wither is back where it belongs, as a natural part of our circle. Balance has been restored.
Thank you, Spirit of the Grove. Adventurer, the Evergrowth wants to talk to you.
You and this druid have our thanks, mortal. You trusted us, and now the balance of nature has been restored.
What happened to the All-Wither?
The All-Wither is a part of us, just as death is a part of life. Two parts of the same circle. They are back where they belong, in the natural order. And we are where we are needed, maintaining the balance of this sacred grove.
So the corruption is gone?
There may still be corrupted wildlife about, but the druids can deal with that. Otherwise, know that the danger has passed. We mourn the loss of the Archdruid, but we are grateful for everything you did, mortal. May your harvest never falter.
The Evergrowth says the Grove is safe now. It will continue to perform its sacred duty.
For now. I just hope we don't regret removing the binding wards. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Adventurer, may we speak? It pains me that we weren't able to save the Archdruid. It really appears that the Allwither took control of her without her consent or knowledge. At least we were able to restore the Evergrowth and stop the spread of corruption.
What happens now?
Now? Now we try to return to normal. The Grove won't be the same without the Archdruid, but we'll make do. Of course, our relationship with the Evergrowth needs to change, as it isn't bound anymore. Oh, this is for you. From our circle, with thanks.
In light of all that has happened, Audrine, we would like to make you a Circle Elder and Mediator with the Evergrowth.
Druid Audrine? An Elder? And Mediator to the... Oh, very well.
He just gave up.
An Elder? And the Mediator? I don't know what to say.
I hope you'll say yes. You proved yourself and demonstrated a singular rapport with the spirit of the Grove. Will you take on these responsibilities?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Alright. So, we've only got about 18 minutes left, so I'm going to ride around and mark a few locations on my map so we can do them next time. So that way we don't have to try to, like, stumble in the dark to try to find where we're going. So let's go up this way first and try to get the locations marked. There's one of them, Jury's Cove. Careful. Careful, I say. Alright.
Back in the saddle.
Head that way. Send it, order scumbags. I will be back. And your ship will be mine. Spoilers, I guess. It's technically a spoiler. Oh, this is beautiful. Wait, what's this?
I can't believe what I saw with my own eyes. A talking skull.
Okay, no, I know what that is.
It can't be.
We're gonna pick up Death Valor's Keep. Like I said, we're not gonna start it today. Alright, there's Death Valor's Keep. There's another one over here.
I do believe we're good.
Garrick's Restway Shrine. Wait, that's the Augury Monolith. What do you mean in combat? I'm not in combat. That was weird. Man, just look how beautiful this island is, and people are always like, this DLC was terrible. I'm like, Did you looked around? Like, you've just ridden through the natural beauty that is the Strix Archipelago?
Ready to ride.
Like, I mean, just look at it. It's like, it's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, there's a lore book I don't have. Wayrest, Jewel of the Bay. Somehow I didn't already have that one. Actually, I'm missing 2 more lore books, too. Alright, and here is another,
Trevor, may I ask a favor?
You can, but not just yet.
This will keep you out of
I'll get to you guys next week. Alright, let me pull up a map real quick and make sure that I'm not missing anything as I'm riding around like a drunk lizard. Okay, there is a sky shard down there. We can go grab that in just a minute. I should do the thing while I'm thinking about it. Oh, no, it is turned on, okay. And then there is a crafting station, and there's a delve I'm gonna need. Okay, so drat. Okay, we got the crafting station. Let's go snag the delve so that way I can find it quickly when we need it. We're not going to the delve just yet. There is a quest that will take me to the delve, so we'll go there when the quest tells me to go there. Yeah, I think there's actually 3 delves in this DLC that are part of the main story quest, which is actually really nice. Alright, we'll be back for that later. Alrighty, and then straight this way. There are buyers on this island. I wonder if they've had coffee. Oh yeah, there's an achievement you could get in this game, by the way. Or in this, not in this game, but in this DLC. If you jump from the top of Albatross Leap. Which I'll get up there real quick. I've already got the achievement, but it's like... It's a fun jump regardless. We've got 11 minutes left in the stream. There's no reason not to do it. Alright, here we are at the top of Albatross Leap. We just climb out onto this pedestal and we jump! Haha! Boosh! And then if I didn't have the achievement, I would have just gotten the achievement, but I did already have the achievement, so it's a moot point, so. Ah, drat. That happens every time. You know what we need? We need a platypus mount, so we can be semi-aquatic. And there should be a sky shard around here somewhere. There it is. Okay. We're done with Tordoch. There's a public dungeon right there. We're going to do that later. There's Dewford. We have to go there anyways as part of the main quest. Alright, so we'll go back, we'll double back and get that sky shard, and then we'll call it an episode. I think we've done plenty for one day. I mean, we're not making as much progress as I would like, to be honest, but I mean, we're making as much as, you know, as possible, so. My goal was, I wanted to have been done with High Isle before August, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's like it's going to be August before we finish, and that way I would have most of August, September, October to work on Green Shade, and then...
Mom used to say, as long as there's a drink in my hand, I'm in the right place.
I don't see them. I try to talk to all the random encounters, but it just, I don't see the random encounter person. Let's take this road over here. Yeah, we'll get to you too, Druid, but not today. We have we're gonna have a busy stream next week. Senric, what are you doing way over here?
This will keep you out of Emunara's fur until she gets...
Yeah, I'll get to you, Senric. Just be patient.
Wait, this isn't right.
I'm gonna buy you a map, Barternard. You keep going to the wrong location. You've been doing that for like literally 7 years now. Alright, and obtaining that sky shard is where we're going to end off for today. Like I said, I'm going to provide links to the to my story and to my Discord in case y'all want to join that. So that way y'all can access them from here. I really ought to put these up on YouTube too, but like... Alright, but that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching if you did, and I hope to catch you next week as we continue the ever-lovely and beautiful High Isle DLC. We've got 5 main stories to... Well, we're on story number 3, so we have 4 more main stories after this one. We have 4 more major locations, 2 points of interest, which are probably over on Amanos. 1 more crafting station, which I know for a fact is over on Amanos. We have 9 sky shards to find, 2 of them in public dungeons, which I'm going to do those last. We have 2 public dungeons to do, and then that's it, really. So I will catch you next week right here on Twitch, and it should be on Sunday, unless something happens and I have to do it on Saturday. So you'll know if that happens. Anyways, thank you very much, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.